How's it going? Greetings, Starfighters. Welcome to Mad Science Films. I'm Jimmy P, filmmaker, sexual astronaut, and as ever, I'm joined by my miraculous co-host.
Oh, I like that one. That's a good one. James Morrissey, one half of the Mad Science Films team. What's up? So, guys, before we crack on with the show, remember, if you like this video, then please hit the like button. If you've been enjoying the Mad Science content and want to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook. And again, any comments or suggestions, then leave those in the comment section down below. Let's crack on with the show.
Boom. Also, guys, please check out our fourth feature film for free over on YouTube. Just search for Little Monster or click on the link in the show notes below. This week, we're campaigning for a forgotten masterpiece of genre cinema to be given the exquisite Blu Ray treatment. And very happy about this. We've got yet another viewer recommendation.
I'm loving these recommendations.
We love them. Honestly, if you guys are sat there watching this, you know, while masturbating or not, whichever, drop us a comment or drop us a personal message and let us know what films you want us to check out. I love this one. So this one is from Jason Keith Platt, very talented filmmaker over in West Wales. West Wales.
There
we go. Love Jason. Thank you very much, Jason, for giving us a suggestion. So this week we are looking at The Bite, aka The Curse to the Bite, aka Bitey Snaky Hanky Man. One of those might not be true. From 1989, directed by Federico Prosperi or Fred Goodwin, depending on your...
I don't know what that's about. Crazy.
I mean, they do often, you know, a lot of Italian directors kind of westernize, anglicize their names, don't they? So Fred Goodwin it is, I guess. Right, synopsis. Strap yourselves in. After being bitten by a radioactive snake, a young man begins to spawn snake-like creatures with a vicious, murderous nature. There we go. That sounds somewhat like the film that I've watched. So yeah. So Jim, is this a first-time watch for you, mate?
This is a first-time watch for me. I'm not sure if I've seen the first Curse with Will Wheaton. But yeah, this is a first for the Curse 2.
You poet.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it. It was a really good, fun ride. Now, there were some issues for me, minor issues. Not much of a backstory going on with this. You could argue whether you need it, whatever, but there wasn't much pre-snake and biting the guy in the car kind of stuff. But some continuity issues, some things lapsed there. But again, these are very minor like criticisms of the film because overall I did enjoy it. I like the road movie, body horror stuff, gore. That was a good blend. It had a good tempo. It didn't seem to lull too much. You know, it constantly going. Really loved the effects in this film, and the ending was just magnifique. If you got a snake phobia, then stay clear or definitely switch off at the end. But if you've got a snake fetish, then you could be well happy. I loved these little characters popping up, like the road salesman.
Yeah, Harry the salesman, brilliant.
Harry the salesman, fantastic. Bo Svensson is just, he's just brilliant. I mean, I loved him in Wizards of the Lost Kingdom, which is a fabulous film back in the day. And he brought a lot of credibility to the film with his role. The plaster on the nose, I just loved it, the fact it was just there. I got a lot of love for this film. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, and again, some of the gore in there was fantastic. I like the fact that the snake bite infected the arm and the arm alone, and then it was I forgot the guy's name now. Who's the character's name anyway? He's left then to kind of almost be a battle with his arm, and his arm's kind of doing all the terrible murders of the killing, and then how the arm kind of mutates into a snake, you know what I mean, with the eye on the kind of the hand there and all this kind of cool stuff. So very creative ways of morphing this guy's arm into a snake, and then at the end, then it really ups the ante, doesn't it? With that, so just good fun. Look good as well, really well made. I don't think the director's a very experienced director, Mr. Fred Goodwin.
No. I mean, again, I wonder whether this is a pseudonym and whether, Fred Goodwin, Federico Prosperi, is a different director, and for some reason he only released this. Going on IMDb, he's only got one other credit, which is a producing credit on Wild Beasts, which will crop up later as one of my recommendations. But it was it doesn't look like he's had a lot of, well, as far as we can tell, this is the only directing credit he's got.
So fair play to him. I mean, I think he did a good job. I mean, I had a lot of fun watching it. It was a good watch, and a lot of plus points. Again, a couple of little things there, like continuity and.
What you were saying though. So what was the continuity? I didn't pick up on it.
It was all the bandaging and all that, coming on, coming off. It was tissue, then it was a well bandaged, proper bandage kind of thing, and all that kind of stuff. And that was, because it was the hand. I mean, it was a bit off-putting at times, but again, I mean, that's very nitpicky of myself, but that's something I picked up on. But
fair enough, man.
Yeah.
So I remember this back in the day, in my local corner video shop. I don't think, see from memory, I don't think this was advertised on video in this country as The Curse 2. I think it was just The Bite, and the video cover was very striking, and there we go, it just popped up there. It's a weird one. This is a weird franchise. So the producer, Ovidio G. Asinitis, I don't know. Sounds like a disease.
Asinitis, yeah.
So he is, this Italian producer. He's churned out some weird films. He's directed a couple of even weirder films, which again, I'll drop some images of some of his weird stuff, which again, I think have been put out by Arrow and stuff like that. So as a franchise, there were 4 films in the Curse series, none of which are related to each other, even remotely, not at all. So obviously he kind of thought, hey, that first Curse did well, so let's just keep slapping it on other films, which is a bit weird because I really dig The Bite, and kind of thought it could stand on its own, kind of push the fact it is its own film, because if there were people who didn't like the first Curse, they may stay away from this film and they may be missing out on a treat. Absolutely what you were saying in terms about the visuals, it felt like I'm not sure when it was shot, but it was released in '89. It felt later, it looked like much more of a 90s movie, some of those blue gels on there and everything. The road movie structure I really loved, and it's not something you see a lot of with horror movies, especially from this period. But it's great, as you were saying, great to kind of introduce all of these supporting characters. So like Harry the salesman, played by Jamie Farr, he's a great character actor, brilliant seeing him. The truckers as well, and the interplay. You don't even see most of them. You're pretty much cutting to just one shot of them, giving all these lines. Obviously we see Big Flo later on, the lady trucker. Amazing character as well. The Amish guy as well, who takes in at the end, and there's that thing,
very hot wife, which you think, hang on a minute, what's going on there?
I mean, hey, pays to be Amish, I guess, man. And the special effects, which are just so gross in a brilliant way, like sticky, you can feel it, you can feel the texture. It's by a favorite of the channel, so Screaming Mad George, who's done loads of good stuff. He's done a previous episode when we were talking about Drive. He worked on Steve Wang's films for the Guyver. He's also done Society, which again is a great, gooey, gross film. So again, very tactile, amazing kind of feel to it. And I also really enjoyed the lead female in this. And I was watching it, and I was just like, I recognize her. What else has she been in? So hopped on IMDb. So Jill Sherlin, she had like this major run of like 80s horror hits. So she was in Phantom of the Opera, the Robert Englund one. She was in Cutting Class with a very young Brad Pitt. Popcorn, which is another 80s horror classic. So she had like this run of horror stuff. and yeah, just kind of didn't keep up with it, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, she was great. I absolutely take on board what you're saying though, in terms of like, you know, character or anything like that. They were just kind of thrown together. And I mean, what was good was you had these bits where, you know, she kind of leaves him, but they kept on getting drawn back together. And I was kind of buying it for the most part. Like, it wasn't enough to pull me out of the film, but that the, you know, when she leaves him, you're like, okay, yeah, just keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously for the sake of the film, they kept on being brought back together or whatever. So I kind of bought it, I guess. Yeah, like, and some mental visuals. And there's one scene in particular where the car is just on the road and it runs over like 100 snakes, at least, like hundreds or thousands of snakes. And I was watching it going, do you know what? I really hope those snakes aren't real. Because you gotta wonder.
Yeah.
You gotta wonder. And based on some of the other films in my recommendations, which are linked to this film, animal rights and all of that, not big on the priority of
so, it looked very good if they were fake. That's all I'll say on that one. But yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully no real snakes were killed during the making of this film. We'll see, right?
But no, thank you, Mr. Platt, for like giving us the chance to, for me to revisit and introducing this to Jim. Yeah, really dug it. Really enjoyed watching it. So Jim, which Blu-ray label do we think is going to be best placed to kind of put this bad boy out for us?
I mean, this is just a good 80s horror, isn't it? And part of a franchise too. And I think there's a number of labels that might want to pick this up. 88 Films, Shout Factory, I think might be a good one. Second Sight Films, they got a nice tasty few 80s horrors, and I got for Synopsis Films as well. So there's quite a few, I think. I'd be quite intrigued to see the other ones, to be honest. I think I've seen the first. There's a third with Christopher Lee, I think's in it.
I've definitely seen the first in the past, and I rewatched it because I could find a link of that online as well. Enjoyed the first one again. But because they're unrelated, it wasn't enough for me to kind of want to dig out 3 and 4. And you know, the way these franchises tend to go, they don't tend to go up. So I was like, you know what? 1 and 2 are solid. I'm going to get out while it's good.
Yeah, well, the still taste nice in my mouth. But those labels, quite cool.
Yeah, I've gone with 88 Films again. Right time period, right kind of horror genre. They put out some of Screaming Mad George's work in the past as well. So and 101 Films as well, because again. I think they do like their Italian horror kind of stuff. So yeah, that felt like a good home for them as well. Okay, Jem. So you've seen the curse to the bitey handy man, snaky man. What film are you going to throw it up with?
Well, there's numerous snake films you go watch, like Anaconda, Snakes on the Plane, that kind of stuff, if you want to. If you like a bit more body horror involving a couple and a real good master of body horror, go watch Cronenberg's The Fly with Mr. Goldblum. If you don't mind the director being a pedophile, a good road movie horror film, which I do enjoy, is Jeepers Creepers. Good on the road horror film. But again, there's that factor too. A good 1982 film, and the screen story was written by Tom Holland, and it's more body horror, transformation, that kind of stuff. And I really enjoy this one. Is The Beast Within. That's a good one to go and watch. Good one. And a good solid 80s thriller horror road movie is The Hitcher. Mr. Rooker. So there we go.
Yeah, it's something about the American road movie. You know, all these motels and No, good call, man. Good call. Like that. I've gone with The First Curse. I think, you know, again, the name is there. Don't expect any sort of link, but weirdly directed by David Keith, so who's actor in himself. He was in Wide to the Eyes, you know, like one of these American character actors. I think he was the dad in the original Firestarter as well. Starring a young Will Wheaton, but I don't think he had a very good time on the set, kind of reading about the making of and everything. So I think this was one of the ones where his parents were being typical showbiz parents and forcing him into a role that he really didn't want to do. But
Yeah.
It's based on the Lovecraft story, which they've made into a film several times, including most recently The Color Out of Space with Nick Cage. So again, it's kind of another telling of that. Solid film. Yeah, really good. Another quality 80s movie. For crazy snake movies, I've gone over to Taiwan. And again, the caveat on this is, if you're okay with probably real animals being killed on screen, or you can at least tolerate it, so know this, trigger warning going in. Calamity of Snakes, where a building developer basically kills thousands of snakes and then builds a building on top of it. Absolutely mental.
Yeah.
There was something going on in the 80s in Taiwan, which meant that movies like this got made. Again, a lot of the visuals that I was watching in The Bite, like hundreds of snakes on the road or whatever, it kind of threw it back to this. So the only other credit for Federico Prosperi is Wild Beasts, which again is absolutely mental. Again, probable real animals being hurt on screen. But the synopsis, briefly, just to try to sell it to you, is the water supply of a zoo accidentally gets laced with PCP and the animals go crazy.
Oh, wow.
It is brilliant. There are images there where I hope some of them were faked, but amazing. Just amazing, some of the things they captured. And I can't figure out how they did it unless they did it for real. So,
God.
Yeah. But definitely worth a watch just in terms of wow. And then, another one, and this is the one I always kind of get mixed up with because the video covers were quite similar. So there we go. Was The Kiss. So starring Joanna Pacula. And again, it has this like serpent lizard inside a human creature kind of thing. And it taps back to that's the fairy tale thing of evil stepmother, blah blah blah. But yeah, that was a fun one, and again, definitely remember watching that round about the same time, early 90s, access to a video shop and just watching everything that I could get hold of. So yeah, that's another quality late 80s, early 90s movie worth checking out. Okie dokie. So guys, have you seen The Curse to the Bite, aka The Bite, aka Bitey Handy Snaky Man? What did you think?
Should use that one.
What did you guys think of the film? Are there any other films that you'd recommend we check out after having seen The Bite, aka The Curse to the Bite, aka Bitey Hand Snaky Man? Or are there any other films that you think deserve the beautiful Blu-ray treatment? If so, let us know in the comments. Also, viewer recommendations. We're really enjoying it when people are suggesting these movies, and either we're checking out for the first time or we're revisiting it again. So we are loving your recommendations. And Jim,
keep them coming.
What else can they do?
So guys, if you like this video, then please hit the like button. If you've been enjoying the Mad Science Films content and want to subscribe to our channel, and can follow us on Facebook. Any comments or suggestions, then leave those in the comment section down below. Thank you and goodbye.